Hola, soy Quique TroofSeekah. Back here again for another delightful session talking about God. Hello, I'm Quique, and I'm a TroofSeekah.
Hello, Quique.
Hello. What's up, Hamburger Man? Always helping me. Now he's called the Burger Man.
Mr. Burger Man.
Shout out to him. He's always out there with me, helping me out. Thank God. And God is who we talk about here in this TroofSeekah episodes. Last time I talked a little bit about the Easter, because it was the day after Easter, when we had a guitar player playing. Not a Mumbling Word was the name of the song.
No,
And
I guessed it.
Artist, who guessed it? I don't think nobody guessed it. I don't know.
You guys need to try.
But if you did, here's a big old shout out and a pat on the back for you. His name is Leadbelly, and he's a disciple of today's guitar player. Why don't we hit that guitar player? He's from the 20s also. He's very influential. You'd be surprised how influential. He influenced Leadbelly from last week. This song's called Keep My Grave Clean. And it's interesting that he was buried in an unmarked grave. And it's a shame. In his 30s when he died. Wonderful guitar player that influenced several wonderful folks that you've heard of. So you may not have heard of this gentleman. In 1967, they did mark his grave and give him a decent burial. How he died, I'm not certain. Some people say he died of a heart attack. Okay. Anyways, that's my man jamming. And if anybody guesses it, they get a pat on the back. Give me even a hug. How's that? And a big old shout out. Way to go! All right. Last week we talked about Psalms 22 and how so many intricate details were prophesied hundreds of years prior to Jesus even coming, prior to crucifixion being a means of killing a murder or killing criminals, right? It just wasn't a means that was used until the Romans came and started that. So, executing, that's a word I'm looking for, a means of execution. Anyways, when we talk about a God, and we've talked about atheists, we've talked about agnostics. There was a while back I said, hey, listen, atheists don't believe in God, and I don't believe in atheists. I just wanted to point out that atheists can't really say that they don't know there's a God. So after all, they're agnostics, right? They'd have to admit, I don't know. And most other folks that believe in God would have to say, well, I haven't seen him, haven't shook his hand. Then there's the agnostics, and they say, I don't know. But they seem so proud of it. I don't know. It's like Sergeant Schultz. I know nothing. If you don't know who he is, Google Sergeant Schultz, Hogan's Heroes. He's funny. John Banner was the actor, and I believe he was Jewish. At any rate, so we talked about those things. I would like to just point out the consequences of there being no God, and just kind of the idea. If there is no God, I'd like you to realize that there is no, all men are created equal under God. There's no value of a man over a cockroach, or there's no value of Mother Teresa over a pedophile or over Hitler. There is no right and wrong. The only reason there's right and wrong is because there's a God that says this is right and that's wrong. And some people will say, yeah, we'll continue obeying laws, not killing each other, not hurting each other, not doing wrong to each other, because we want to perpetuate the human race. And I'd have to ask, why perpetuate the human race? Why keep it going? It appears to me that we're a virus on a planet. We're destroying it. And the same folks that seem to have an amoral attitude live very morally. So they're not living according to their... I'm not saying atheists and agnostics are bad people. I'm just saying they're wrong. And I think they're kind of smug about their wrongness. And there have been times I've talked to folks downtown or wherever, and I say, hey, so what's your feeling on God? And they're like, oh, don't be shoving your theology down my throat. And I'm like, oh, I asked you a question. I was giving you the opportunity to shove your religion down my throat. I'm not trying to shove my religion down your throat. I'm just asking, and then we'll have a conversation. I was going to name the site Full Frontal Lobe Theology, but I thought, oh, people are going to be looking for nudity, right? And be disappointed, because I'm a average-looking old man talking about God, and not a sexy woman on a pole, half naked, so or fully naked. So I changed, but full frontal. We use our frontal lobe to reason and think, and I thought let's get people thinking about what's important. Socrates said, "The life unexamined is not worth living." Let's examine our lives and see what you live like a moral person in spite of the fact that you believe there's no God. Why do you do it? And you talk about how we're destroying our planet, well, by perpetuate the human race. Really, if we were gone, we would end pollution, and maybe the other species would last longer. Honestly, you wonder if a nihilism isn't the best idea, or a complete hedonism in total disregard for other people. Sadism. Everything outside of God is chaotic. He's the only reason we have for life and for saying this is right and that's wrong. And he's the only objective source of right and wrong. One person might say, oh, I think that's okay. In this instance, lying is okay. Well, maybe. And another person would say, lying's never okay. And then you try to look at what God says is right and wrong, and you'll come to a decent conclusion. Sometimes those things are gray, and I understand that my morals might be pretty vulgar to some real chaste type Christians, and some people's lifestyle might be real outside of my morals, and we all might be studying the same Bible and come with just a little but what I want folks to understand is there is a God, and he is there whether we believe in him or not, and he has a direction for our lives, and this gives us purpose. If there is no God, we are scum evolved. We're here by accident, and we really have no purpose. All we have is the illusion that somehow we're a higher race than a zebra, or a zebra mussel, right? And in fact, we're not. We're just scum evolved. We have no real purpose, and we have no higher or lower. There is no higher or lower if there's no God. And so the reason a Christian believes that or a Jew or a Muslim probably believes that we are a higher race than a zebra mussel is because we're created in God's image. We have free will, intelligence, emotions, and creativity given to us by God. Yes, we have freedom, creativity, and the ability to feel sad or happy or joy or anger, just like God does. And that's what gives us personality above the other creatures. We're separated from the other animals by these qualities, and probably a few other ones. Creativity, I play a little guitar, but I don't play like the folks I love to listen to and I'm trying to turn you on to. I like to draw, I like to paint. I made this room, I don't know if you can see it very well, for my son, out of an attic that had nothing but, and I'm not a constructor, I'm a nurse.
Dry erase board.
Yeah.
Posters.
Anyways, so I try to talk to you guys about the things that are important, because sometimes we think about our clothes, our job, which are important, I suppose. A lot of other things about rock and roll and sports, and I love those things, honestly. I like all those things, jazz, blues. I love art, drawings. I love thinking about my wife, my beautiful wife, my lovely family. But if we don't think about God, who deserves all our attention, then we've failed him and ourselves. Boy, even if you're an atheist, put together an apologetic why you're an atheist and send it to me. I'd love to hear it. You know, folks say to me, don't shove your religion down your throat. And I do feel that there's a state religion right now called atheism, and it's being shoved down my children's throats, our children here in this country, through the school system and through almost every media project out there. And so I think instead of shoving things down our throats, let's just converse and come to a conclusion that's kind of nice, or even let's agree kindly to disagree. I think that works. It works, baby. So, thanks. Ciao. God bless.